Hey guys, welcome to Gamers Depot. Today we are here for a 70,000 rupees gaming PC based on the Intel Skylake architecture. All the links to parts mentioned in the video will be in the description from Flipkart and Amazon, so do check them out. Now moving on to our first part, the CPU, for which I picked the Intel Core i5-6600 3.3 GHz processor. This is just as good as the 6600K, just that it's locked, so no overclocking. As I always advise to stick to the 4460 rather than the 4690K if on a tight budget, because most of you don't really overclock, and for regular gaming you don't really need to. This processor is quite a beast even without being overclocked. So this seemed a good choice to include in this build. And of course this is a gaming PC, so I didn't feel sensible to include an i7 and cheap out on the graphics card. So now moving on to the graphics card, for which I picked the Asus Nvidia GTX 970. Now the 970 always has been the best of graphics cards. Now the 1070 seems even better, but it is not easily available nowadays and is quite expensive. But maybe if you are watching this video at a time when the cost of the 1070 has been stabilized, you can pick it. Regardless, if it has happened, maybe the 970 will become even cheaper. I will also leave a link to buy the 1070 and 1080 in the description, so do check them out. But now for this build, I am gonna pick the 970 with its 4GB of VRAM. Next, moving on to the motherboard, for which I picked the Gigabyte GA-H110M motherboard. Now with the 6600, we don't need those expensive Z170 motherboards, because you aren't gonna overclock. This motherboard has two DDR4 RAM slots, one PCI Express 3.0x16 slot, and four USB 3.0 slots, and it's quite ideal for around 5,000 rupees. Because in this build, we are spending enough money on everything. Didn't see it sensible to ignore the motherboard. So got one that has enough of things used these days like the USB 3.0 slots while not being super expensive. Next, moving on to the RAM. I picked the Corsair Vengeance 8GB DDR4 2400 MHz memory stick. Now one of the benefits of doing a Skylake build is you get to have a DDR4 RAM stick to include in this build, and it is significantly better than DDR3. Now you can get some idea from the speed of this RAM stick. It's a whopping 2400 MHz, and compare it to a standard 1600 MHz DDR3 stick. With the memory done, let's move on to the storage. For the operating system and other frequently used files, and to collectively give your system a boost in performance, I picked the Kingston UB300 240GB 2.5-inch solid-state drive. Now in a budget of 70,000 rupees, a SSD was a must. And sure, these days almost everybody has it. And if you're spending so much, why not get it? For less than 4,500 rupees, this one seemed a fair deal. Also, booting and loading stuff on SSDs is significantly faster, and almost always people come to know their importance once they try them out. Also, for mass storage, I picked the Western Digital Caviar Blue 1TB hard drive, costing you around 3,500 rupees. Now on this hard drive you can put all your movies and games, because games these days are 50GB and stuff like that, and fitting all your Steam library into an SSD would be very expensive. Next, moving on to the cabinet, for which I picked the Cooler Master K380 cabinet. Now first things first, this cabinet looks plain fabulous, with the black finish and the transparent side panel window. It's aesthetically one of a kind. Second, with the USB 3.0 headers and the 7 hard drive bays, it is also good content wise. It has a built-in 140mm LED fan in the front and supports up to 4 more of them. Now with the cabinet done, let's power this big boy up with the Corsair VS650. Now I calculated the amount of power needed for this PC to run, and not surprisingly, because of using the 970 and the 6600, the power recommended was 410 watt. And this is including the best you can do with the PC. Put a gaming mouse, a keyboard, 4 fans and whatnot. So 650 watts gives you more than enough room for upgradation in the future. And this PC is meant for the people who are really interested in PC gaming. And regardless, these people upgrade their PCs every now and then. Thanks for following us till the very end. Do check out the links to all parts which are mentioned in the description. Do leave any of your query down in the comments. Check out our other videos and subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks for watching. Bye.